Listen carefully because most people spend their entire lives believing every thought that appears in their head without ever questioning where it came from. And that blind trust is exactly what keeps them trapped in cycles of fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. Your brain is designed to predict danger and protect you, but it does this using old patterns, past memories, and emotional shortcuts that are not always accurate. When a negative thought appears, your brain does not pause to verify truth. It reacts instantly, and your body follows as if the threat is real. Your heart rate changes, your muscles tense, and suddenly you are fighting an invisible situation created entirely inside your mind. Over time, this repeated reaction builds a false sense of reality, where imagined fears feel more convincing than actual evidence. The brain prefers familiarity over truth, which means if you repeatedly think you are not good enough, your mind treats that belief as a rule rather than an opinion. Every new experience is filtered through that rule, making small mistakes feel like proof of failure and minor rejection feel like confirmation that something is wrong with you. But what is really happening is pattern matching, not destiny. Your mind is replaying old recordings and presenting them as current facts. The dangerous part is not the thought itself, but the speed at which you believe it. Most people never notice the tiny gap between a thought appearing and their reaction to it. That gap is where freedom exists. When you slow down enough to observe what your mind is saying, you begin to see repetition instead of truth. Thoughts start revealing themselves as habits rather than commands. You notice how your brain exaggerates risk, predicts embarrassment, and creates worst-case scenarios in an attempt to keep you safe, yet this protection often becomes a prison. The more you resist or fight these thoughts, the louder they become, because resistance signals importance to the brain. It assumes the thought must be critical and pushes it forward again. But when you allow a thought to exist without panic or judgment, something unexpected happens. It fades. Your nervous system stops sounding alarms, your breathing stabilizes, and clarity returns. This is not weakness or avoidance. It is intelligent awareness. You are teaching your brain that not every mental signal deserves a dramatic reaction. As awareness grows, you begin to separate sensation from story. Fear may still appear, but instead of immediately believing it, you examine it. You ask whether this thought reflects the present moment or an echo from the past. That simple pause interrupts automatic behavior and restores choice. Slowly, your inner world becomes less chaotic because you are no longer feeding every mental narrative. You realize that thoughts are temporary visitors, not permanent identity. They arrive, perform loudly, and leave if you stop chasing them. This understanding changes how you experience stress. Instead of drowning in mental noise, you stand back and observe patterns forming and dissolving. Confidence begins to grow, not because your thoughts disappear, but because you no longer treat them as authority. You discover that awareness, the part of you noticing all this, remains calm beneath the storm. That calm presence has always been there, waiting for you to recognize it. Once you recognize that your brain is constantly generating stories rather than delivering absolute truth, your relationship with your thoughts begins to transform. You stop reacting to every mental signal as if it were an emergency and start listening with curiosity instead of fear. This shift rewires your emotional response. Situations that once triggered immediate anxiety now create a moment of pause where you can choose your reaction. Your brain is highly adaptable, and every time you observe instead of panic, you strengthen neural pathways associated with calm decision-making. Over time, this becomes your new baseline. Fear does not disappear, but it changes role. Instead of controlling you, it becomes information you can evaluate. You begin to notice how the mind predicts outcomes based on outdated experiences, projecting past pain onto present situations. By seeing this pattern clearly, you prevent old memories from dictating current behavior. Emotional reactions lose their intensity because they are no longer fused with identity. You are not the fear, you are the observer experiencing it. This awareness creates space, and within that space lies freedom. The present moment becomes your anchor. When you bring attention to your breath, your surroundings, or physical sensations, your nervous system recalibrates. The brain realizes there is no immediate danger and reduces its alarm response. Thoughts continue to pass through your awareness, but they no longer dominate your focus. You coexist with them instead of being ruled by them. This coexistence builds resilience. Challenges still arise, yet your recovery becomes faster because you trust your ability to return to center. Self-doubt turns into self-inquiry, stress turns into information, and emotional storms pass without defining you. You start living with intention rather than reaction. Decisions feel clearer because they are grounded in observation instead of impulse. Gradually, your sense of identity shifts away from mental chatter towards steady awareness. You understand that your mind is a powerful tool, but it is not the master of your life. Some days thoughts will be loud again, and that is natural. The difference now is recognition. You pause, observe, breathe, and allow the wave to pass. Each repetition strengthens mental freedom. Peace stops being something you chase and becomes something you uncover beneath the noise. This realization is deeply empowering because it proves that control was never about silencing your brain, it was about understanding it. When you live from this awareness, challenges feel manageable, reactions soften, and clarity guides your actions. You begin to experience life directly instead of through distorted mental filters. And as this practice continues, you discover a quiet confidence that does not depend on circumstances. It comes from knowing that no matter what thoughts arise, you are the awareness behind them, steady, present, and capable of choosing your response. When you understand this, your mind stops feeling like a battlefield and starts becoming a powerful ally that helps you grow. Life feels clearer, reactions feel intentional, and peace becomes something you experience instead of chase. And if this message helped you see your thoughts differently, stay connected with Mind Explained AI, because every video is designed to strengthen your awareness and mental clarity. Subscribe if you want to keep mastering your mind, and share in the comments what thought pattern you are learning to break, because awareness grows faster when we reflect together. And the journey to mental freedom becomes stronger when you choose to continue it.